The night was unusually still, the kind of silence that presses against your chest and makes every heartbeat sound like a drum in the dark. Badi had always been fearful of the unseen, but nothing could have prepared her for what she was about to witness. Her surroundings grew heavier with each passing second. Shadows seemed to stretch and twist into unrecognizable forms, and an icy chill crawled up her spine. She had stumbled into the forbidden circle, a boundary she had been warned never to cross, and now she could feel the presence of the jinn, dark, formless, and terrifying, closing in around her. Her breaths came in shallow gasps as the malevolent entities suddenly dragged her mother into view, contorting her in impossible ways. Badi's mind reeled. She wanted to scream, to run, but her fear had rooted her in place. It was in that harrowing moment that a voice from her memories, the voice of Babaji, echoed in her mind, reminding her that this was all a ploy to scare her, to test her courage. Summoning every ounce of strength, Badi resisted the urge to flee. Her defiance surprised the jinn, creatures who had terrorized countless humans before her, but never one who faced them with such unwavering resolve. The first night's ordeal ended with her voice rising in fearless defiance, her scream piercing the stillness, and after what felt like an eternity, she emerged from the cursed circle, stepping quietly back toward her home. The world outside seemed deceptively calm, yet a heavy, brooding silence lingered in the empty streets and desolate fields. Badi walked with a newfound fearlessness, knowing that she had faced the darkness and survived. Night fell again, and with it, Badi returned to the graveyard, the very place where the jinn gathered. She formed her protective circle and began the rituals that would summon them. The creatures appeared once more, attempting to drag her out of the circle, to intimidate her with horrifying forms, voices that could freeze the soul, and visions of death. But Badi remained unshaken. Each trick, each terrifying manifestation failed to penetrate her resolve. She had grown beyond fear. Now her heart was set on a singular goal, the completion of the 50-day ordeal that would allow her to meet the one destined to be her eternal companion, a being from the realm of jinn. In the meantime, her friends Bano and Bijli arrived at her home, sensing her joy and peace. They noticed something different about Badi. She was no longer the timid girl who had trembled at shadows. She radiated a quiet, unstoppable confidence. Curiosity got the better of them, and they pressed her for answers. With a gentle smile, Badi confessed that she was moving forward with a love that defied human limitations, a love that was considered impossible by the natural order. She desired to connect with a jinn, to pursue a bond that others might deem forbidden. Bano warned her, cautioning that the path she had chosen was fraught with danger, yet her determination was unwavering. She needed to face this alone. No one else could step into the circle for her, not even her most loyal friends. As the days passed, the graveyard became her battleground. Each night she performed her rituals, forming circles of protection, her chants echoing across the tombstones. The jinn attempted to deceive and terrify her by taking the forms of her friends, but Badi's focus never wavered. She could see through the illusions, maintaining the circle, her heart fixed on the moment when 50 days would complete and her destiny would unfold. The suspense was unbearable. The air itself seemed to quiver with anticipation. Then, tragedy struck. The jinn grew impatient and violent, determined to crush her spirit. Bano and Bijli, despite being warned, ventured into the graveyard, driven by concern and curiosity. They witnessed Badi's power, but underestimated the malevolence they faced. The jinn, taking grotesque, terrifying forms, overwhelmed them, twisting their bodies and snuffing out their lives with brutal efficiency. Badi watched in horror and grief, realizing the deadly stakes of her mission. Yet she could not falter. Fear had no hold over her now. The loss of her friends only steeled her resolve. A particularly sinister jinn confronted Badi, taunting her with the deaths of her friends, declaring that her defiance had cost them their lives and that she would be next. The air thickened with dread as the jinn approached, ready to strike. But Badi, standing firm within her protective circle, met the creature with unwavering courage. She had embraced the darkness, learned its rules, and turned her fear into power. In that climactic moment, it became clear that the power of determination and love that transcends the human and the supernatural, was a force even the most formidable jinn could not subdue. Badi's journey was a harrowing testament to courage, to the unyielding human spirit confronting the inexplicable and the terrifying. Each night brought suspense, each encounter a test of will, every shadow a threat that could be real or imagined. Through it all, she moved steadily toward her goal, a lone figure illuminated by the faint glow of courage in a world of darkness. The narrative of her trials weaves a haunting tapestry of fear, suspense, love, and the supernatural. A story where the line between the human and the jinn blurs, and the true horror lies not just in the creatures around her, but in the risks she dared to embrace to claim her destiny.